The Indiana Fever star declares, "I'm hiring my own physicians. I'm not going to use our physicians." She has seen another physician, but she refuses to provide the team with an update. It's possible that Caitlin Clark is refusing to use the Indiana Fever medical personnel. Caitlin Clark no longer believes in the training group. This is the case of Kawhi Leonard. Although Stephanie White claims to have seen another physician, she has not communicated with the trainers. It's not necessary for Caitlin Clark to remain with Indiana. Perhaps the loudest message yet was just sent by Caitlin Clark. For the Indiana Fever organization, this is not a good appearance. Additionally, the Indiana Fever's prospects are not promising. After the game, Caitlin Clark met in secret with the New York Liberty. Something significant is developing, from avoiding team trainers to having private meetings with the New York Liberty. Has she moved on from Indiana? If you support Caitlin Clark, please leave a 100% positive review in the comments section. This goes beyond a simple injury. Let's dissect it. It looks like Caitlin Clark aggravated her right adductor groin strain, he said. The tricky thing about a groin strain is that the tissue heals very slowly, where she is seeking second opinions, while keeping the training team in the dark. Kawhi Leonard is this person. Kawhi, it's obvious that she no longer believes in the Fever. The groin injury suffered by Caitlin Clark is more than just a medical setback. It's becoming into a serious question of trust. They said whatever the medical staff is doing right now, it is unfortunately not enough. Guys, what's happening on John Liquid, your boy, is returning with a new video. It appeared to be Caitlin as well. Immediately following her right regravation, Clark took a daring step. She declined to see the medical personnel of the Indiana Fever. Fever physicians most likely did it last time. The second and third opinions this time are probably those of some NBA professional doctors. Rather, she sought second and even third views from elite professionals, likely NBA-level physicians outside the company. That isn't typical. It's a message. According to Stephanie White, the Caitlin Fargo prospective timeframe has not been updated. White claims she hasn't talked to the trainers, but she did see another doctor. Although I haven't seen C since last night's game, I believe she is making improvement. I believe we're still dealing with, everything that need attention. Early in the week, she will see some doctors and undergo additional testing. I don't think she'll be available on Tuesday, Therefore, we will continue to handle things day by day and allow her to receive her evaluations as soon as possible. This week, and after we've completed that, ideally, we'll have a clearer picture of what it looks like. In a press conference, head coach Stephanie White acknowledged that neither she nor the team's trainers have heard from Clark. Kawhi was estranged from Spurs because of issues with his rehabilitation. At least it looks that way. This does not imply that it is good or bad. Why don't you communicate with your employees? The franchise's main character, their number one draw, says nothing at all to the people who helped her get better. It's more than just a choice. There is obviously no trust there, and it's easy to understand why. Groining strain 52,625 on the left. Groining strain 7,525 on the left. For almost 2 months, Caitlin Clark has been battling this groin issue. Whatever the medical personnel is doing at the moment, they said, unfortunately, it is insufficient. This strain in the groin has persisted. Even the inadequacy of the treatment she was receiving was acknowledged by experts. At this point, they began their daily activities. The terrible truth regarding Caitlin Clark's injury was just revealed by doctors. The reason for the increasing tension is that their tissue heals very slowly. It is always necessary for everything affecting the legs and is simple to re-injure. Setting them down for a few weeks isn't always sufficient. Describing it as a delicate region that is prone to re-injury in the absence of specialist care. Was obvious that she was hurt. You simply don't let it get better. Her ass keeps getting thrown back out there by you. "Gee, she's good," she says repeatedly. Clark made an effort to persevere. She was injured once again. "Since there's a strong chance we won't make the playoffs, why am I going to risk this again by returning?" Caitlin Clark no longer believes in the training group. She has now stopped jeopardizing her career for Arsenal, who were first unable to maintain her health. It's survival, not hate. She needs to take matters into her own hands, and I believe she is doing just that by avoiding the very team she is meant to trust. Caitlin Clark is putting matters into her own hands. That says it all. It's obvious that head coach Stephanie White opposes Caitlin Clark, and it's obvious as day that this front management made a mistake by hiring her to coach. Caitlin Clark. Indiana's issues are strategic in nature rather than merely medical. The middle of it is a widening gap between Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White, her head coach. A league's face is Kayla Clark. CC, you are loved. One member in this league causes the owners to visualize dollar signs whenever she enters the building or a room. Only one individual exists, and her name is Caitlin Clark, a multi-generational talent. Clark is renowned for her instinctive attack, quick speed, and deep shooting. However, she has been confined to a system that prevents her from being herself. Since the beginning, Kayla Clark shooting the ball is something Stephanie White does not want. It's as obvious as day. This fluid offense is what she wants to run. And, quite frankly, the front office needs to hire a new coach, or Caitlin needs to get the damn hell out of Indy. Stephanie White has insisted on implementing a paint-tanned motion offense. Man, this strategy, which was designed for post players rather than skilled shooters like Caitlin, feels decades behind the current game and is gradually suffocating one off-league's most thrilling players ever. As a shooter, I feel that when you see 2 or 3 go in, I'm likely to launch a third, which may not be recommended, but I feel like I have to get it up. For example, if I have 2 consecutive shots. Caitlin did not remain quiet. During a podcast appearance, she discreetly revealed the problem, implying that the green light isn't always present, but stating that she wants to keep shooting when 2 or 3 threes fall. That is an annoyance. That is a limitation. Kayla Clark was referring to Stephanie White's lack of interest in her taking shots. According to team sources, Clark has been dissuaded from releasing her typical heat check threes, even though they were the foundation of her influence and brand. Even worse, Fever coaches and players have made it clear in public that they want to play paint basketball. Her style of play doesn't fit the team. When she returns, her playing will most likely be entirely different from what she wants to play, giving less attention to the perimeter. Asking Steph Curry to stop shooting and return to the hoop after a post-up ball is like that. Additionally, the divide is growing worse behind the scenes. Not to be a snitch, but none of the Clark team members showed up for the meeting we had. Scheduled Caitlin Clark's circle did not attend the team's pre-game unity meeting. Nothing, not her voice, nor her team. That quiet said a lot. It doesn't seem like Clark is the center of a system. It's really a difficult one. Extremely difficult circumstance for the Fever to be in. Look, I'm not even sure if the Fever's attempt to get their player on the court was improper. Clark seems to be being pushed into a system, and the outcomes haven't been good. Style isn't the only factor here. Identity, freedom, and fit are key. There isn't a degree of her health of faith. Trust is lacking. To be fair, since the organization will act in their best interests, it's probably wise to not have blind faith in it like some people do. It was not Caitlin Clark's intention to be handcuffed at the WNBA. Additionally, the Fever currently appear more focused with maintaining control than letting her potential run wild. I'm from New York if Caitlin is taken by the New York Liberty. In New York, a completely different scenario is developing while tensions in Indiana increase. One that might indicate what Caitlin Clark will do next. We're holding secret meetings. Everyone. Caitlin Clark met in private. The New York Liberty postgame is simply a little bit of a POWL. It's definitely not nothing. It's more like something, I believe. Following a game between the Fever and Liberty, Clark was seen in what is currently bingearing, a covert post-game gathering with the coaching staff and players of the New York Liberty. On national television, you all witnessed her completely humiliate Cheryl Reeves, including head coach Sandy Brondello, by trading her for the Liberty coach. It was not a casual conversation. Do you see the woman next to Breanna Stewart wearing the blue blouse and white pants? Do you know who that is? To your left? Do you know who that is? That's the agent for Caitlin Clark. The Liberty's main players were only a few feet away from Caitlin's agent. That's strategic, not simply friendly. Let's be honest. Why? While everyone else is playing checkers, why is there a fever? This whole goddamn time, the Liberty has been playing chess. Checkers is not what the New York Liberty are playing. Chess is what they're playing. On the court, they have only shown Clark respect. Have you witnessed Caitlin Clark being treated unfairly by the New York Liberty? No. Have you witnessed their egregious fouling and knocking her around? No. No animosity, no dirty fouls, no rookie treatment. Although other teams have acted recklessly and aggressively, the Liberty have maintained their arms open, played smart, and played clean. She made it known. On national television, you all witnessed her exchange Sammy Brondello for Cheryl Reeves. Caitlin has also taken notice. She even garnered media attention during the All-Star National Television over the weekend. She publicly switched Liberty coach Sandy Brondello for Cheryl Reeves. She will be gone now. Now that she's gone, everyone will know it. It's not necessary for Caitlin Clark to remain with Indiana. She owes them nothing at all. It was more than a light moment. It was a sign, an indication that she would prefer to run with the Liberty. If given the option, Rena will not be leaving. They will remain there indefinitely. However, there may be additional adjustments made to add Caitlin Clark to that roster. Caitlin's close relationship with Liberty star Sabrina is well known. One of her greatest admirers and a player who mimics her style is Yana Sue. You're making false promises to people like Natasha Howard and Dana Bonner if you continue to let Caitlin Clark win these games. Caitlin Clark is already tired of it. The chemistry is genuine. The Liberty's fast-paced style of play is ideal for Clark's style of play, and the culture fits. What does Indiana have to offer? A slower system, mounting conflict, and a front office that seems out of step with their hero. Long ago, the New York Liberty made it clear that they wanted Caitlin Clark. The Liberty, meanwhile, are creating a plan based on her strengths, skilled, quick, and fluid basketball. After Caitlin Clark's rookie contract is out, I could 100% see her coming to the New York Liberty. She may not even be there for the duration of the rookie deal. In fact, she may push her way out. The murmurs are becoming more intense. Before her rookie contract even expires, Clark might try to force her way out of Indiana. She can also call her shot because of her strong brand. The Liberty is prepared. There's a buzz among the supporters. Also, they're looking more and more for the Fever. More akin to a stopover than a long-term residence. The Indiana Fever star declares, "I'm hiring my own physicians. I won't use any of your doctors." She has seen another physician, but she refuses to provide the team with an update. It's possible that Caitlin Clark is refusing to use the Indiana Fever medical personnel. Caitlin Clark no longer trusts the training staff. This is the case of Kawhi Leonard. Although Stephanie White claims to have seen another physician, she has not communicated with the trainers. It's not necessary for Caitlin Clark to remain with Indiana. Shows them nothing at all. From rejecting the trainers for the Fever, the writing is on the wall as she clashes with her coach during private meetings with the Liberty. There will be some strain in the area of your groin. Caitlin Clark is experiencing it. You see, she lost her mobility when she injured her left groin. Caitlin Clark is doing more than just recovering from an injury. She's taking charge again. She is too significant, too gifted, and too intelligent to be trapped in an unsupportive system. A league's face is Kane Clark. CC, you are loved. One person in this league causes the owners to notice her when she enters the building and the room indications. Only one individual is present, and her name is Caitlin Clark. The game has been altered by Caitlin Clark. In college and the WNBA, she made a change. The nation is in love with what we have produced. And here's the grown-up girl next door, America Caitlin Clark, breaking collegiate scoring records and introducing women's basketball to a new audience. Caitlin Clark has enthralled the country. She is a phenomenon. And you can be sure that a significant thing is about to happen when the leaders of your league begin to move silently. Has she moved on from Indiana? She doesn't appear to be staying long, though that isn't verified. If you support Caitlin, please leave a 100 in the comments. Clark. Right now, let the world know she deserves.